Championship Wrestling, bringing you great wrestling action, sanctioned by the NWA, National Wrestling Alliance.
Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome back here to the Superstation that is the nation. Tony Schiavone with you here. World Championship Wrestling coming to you, brought to you by the NWA, and we are looking back on what was last week, Clash of the Champions. The fourth horseman we now know is Sting. I can't believe it. We know he's in the building. We are trying to get a hold of him. Hopefully, sometime during the program tonight, we will be able to make that happen. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a lot of action coming your way. We're going to see the Rock and Roll Express going up against the Midnight Express #1. That is a very important matchup because both of those teams are trying to vie for the United States Tag Team titles as well as the World Tag Team titles. We're also going to be seeing Mike Rotunda in action and plenty more. It is going to be a absolute who's who of wrestling action right here for you on this episode of Legends of 605.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring at a combined weight of 573 pounds, Russian Hair Ivor Koloff and Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff.
Well, Stu, we mentioned the fact that there was going to be a big tag team match later on, but how about the one we're going to start this off with?
Well, it doesn't get any bigger than this. The United States Tag Team Champions still the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff, as they were victorious in their match. But it is a return match now because the Road Warriors say we are not done yet. As long as those Russians have the titles, we're coming after them.
At a combined weight of 550 pounds, Hawkins and the Animal, the Road Warriors.
The Road Warriors are here, and they are not happy with the way things turned out at the Clash of the Champions. They thought they'd be here tonight as the U.S. Tag Champions.
Yeah, they definitely have taken this very personal, no two ways about it. They want to set the record straight, and as far as they are concerned, they are the dominant force in the world of tag team wrestling today, and who's going to argue with them?
Well, you won't get one from me, I can tell you that right now. Notable by his absence at the moment is Precious Paul Ellering, who was there at the Clash.
Well, I understand that they have come up with some strategy. They learned from defeat, and they are ready now to show exactly what they're made of. We already know that these two brawlers out of Chicago are more than capable of beating any tag team in the world, including the United States Tag Team Champions. And it really is a problem for them as they see it, that you've got these two from Russia wearing the United States Tag Team titles.
Double team right there as Hawk and Animal doing a number early on nephew Nikita Koloff, as Ivan Koloff has decided to come in, let his nephew start the match off. How much of a difference do you think that really makes?
Well, I think there's a lot of strategy that goes into tag team wrestling, just as much as it does in the singles matches. However, you have that added component of having a partner that you've got to decide what is going to be the best way to negotiate between the two. What is the most effective manner?
Nikita Koloff on the apron, now brought back in by Hawk. And boy, it's been a long time. I can't even remember the time where we saw Nikita manhandle like this, and now he comes up with a small package. Got a 1 count, and Hawk able to kick out. Nice move that time by Koloff. Caught him coming in, used the momentum against him with an arm wringer. And now has him up with a suplex. Hawk feeling that one.
Well, I'll tell you, I kind of expected that the Road Warriors would get out to an early start in this matchup because they were embarrassed. I mean, they didn't need to be. They put up one hell of a battle, but to them, they let themselves down, they let the fans down, and they feel like they let the country down as Ivan Koloff covering a lot of real estate with that elbow drop.
Road Warriors were very certain that they'd come away with the U.S. Tag Team Championship last week. Didn't happen. Of course, title's not on the line in this one, but for the Road Warriors, it's an opportunity for them to prove that they are capable of beating the Russians. No one has been able to beat this team. That is the problem. And now Hawk unloading on Ivan, and oh, he drives that fist right into the head.
That got the full attention of Ivan Koloff with that one, and now there's a tag made. Road Warriors taking advantage of that 5 count.
Animal punishing him. When it comes to the Road Warriors, ladies and gentlemen, they don't come any bigger, badder, or tougher. There's the power slam, and he goes for the cover. Weighs in to put a lot of people away with that one before, and he managed to kick out. You saw Nikita with a look of concern on his face. And now, look at this. Animal's got Nikita.
He scraped him across the top rope and just smashed him into the canvas.
The power on display, and the Road Warriors in control of this one. Oh, what a shot right there upside the head. Comes up with that running knee. Looking for the tag, and not going to happen. Oh, Nikita taking off the apron. Double T coming up on the Road Warriors. Look at Hawk from that middle rope right down into the head.
Well, we said they had a strategy coming in, and it is clearly to divide and conquer. They are keeping nephew Nikita on the apron. They waited for Ivan to come in. Ivan, the senior of the two, obviously. And perhaps, in their opinion, as tough as Ivan is, perhaps he is not quite as resilient as Nikita Koloff, who again is out on the floor. The Road Warriors continue to dominate on this one.
Ivan off the ropes, back out, wrong clothesline. Trying to make the tag, and again Nikita taking off the apron. Clothesline, that was a single by Ivan Koloff, didn't catch him with it.
He caught him, not flush. Not the way he would want to, and now going for the bear hug, and we know Ivan Koloff puts a lot of people away with that bear hug, and there's a big boot.
Once again, Nikita Koloff is the target. Oh, look at this. He just shoved Hawk to the ground. Now he brings up the knee.
Oh, how many times are you going to get caught before you finally get the opportunity to make it work? And now double team again. Oh, wait a moment.
He's got him on the shoulders. Doomsday device. Animal going for the cover. Hooks the leg. Will that be enough? They got him. Big victory. Nikita now checking on his uncle. Wait a moment.
Steel chair to the back, and now the Road Warriors taking out the U.S. Tag Team Champions.
This thing is getting brutal, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome to the Nation Network, your home for all things pro wrestling. From classic video games to the latest releases, we dive deep into wrestling past and present. Step into the ring with Legends Mania, where dream matches come alive as legends clash with today's top stars. Join the conversation on Wrestle Chat, our podcast breaking down the biggest stories and hottest events in wrestling today.
Leave an island unto my own.
And don't miss the voice of Ultra Pro Wrestling, Vince McShane, right here on the Nation Network. This is the place where wrestling lives, breathes, and never sleeps. Hit subscribe and let's run wild together.
All right, fans, what did we just witness?
The following contest
What just
is
happened?
scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring.
That was James E. Cornette,
Horseman
and he just got assaulted backstage.
257 pounds. The Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Jim Cornette has been assaulted. We don't know by whom, and the Midnight Express is supposed to be in action later tonight.
Well, he's been dragged off by somebody, and no idea. What does this do to our main event?
I don't know if it does anything. I mean, it was Jim Cornette. It wasn't Beautiful Bobby, and it wasn't Sweet Stan Lane. And they are contractually obligated to be here, but it still begs the question, what just happened?
Well, I've got a funny feeling we're going to have to wait to find out.
Cornette was taken out. It looked like he threw a garbage can. Someone hit him with a garbage can from behind.
And his opponent from Tennessee, weighing in at 222 pounds, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
All right, well, back to the action that's taking place here in the ring. I presume Doug Dillinger and security going to go out there and try to figure out what's going on with Jim Cornette.
Kind of wonder where he's being dragged off to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Legends of 605. We never know what's going to happen around here. Arn Anderson getting ready to go one-on-one with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. This is a great matchup as well.
Both of these men are top performers, and they are both on the hunt. We know that Anderson wants to go after the World Television Championship currently held by the Great Muta.
Anderson now attacking. Want to work on the leg of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Gilbert doing pretty well for himself thus far in the match.
Unloading on Anderson. Big shot right there as Gilbert with that tornado sledgehammer. And the enforcer is down on the apron. Right now, things for the Horsemen are starting to look up. You got Ric Flair as the United States champion. You've got now Sting as the fourth Horseman. And, of course, that brings with him the World Heavyweight title. They promised they were going to get it back in the stable. Now they've done that.
That just leaves Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Anderson, of course, wants the television title, but Anderson and Blanchard both would love nothing more than to go after the World Tag Team titles. Dusty Rhodes, Magnum TA, the still reigning tag team champions.
Drop down now by Gilbert. Anderson comes off the ropes. Back body drop and hot stuff making him pay the price.
Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert has come a long way since joining us here on the Legends of 605. He gets a little bit better and a little bit tougher and a little bit wiser each and every week.
Well, you would expect that when you consider the talent that he's getting in the ring with. Win, lose, or draw, you're going to get something out of that that's going to make you better. We remember over a year ago when he came here for the first time, accompanied by Missy Hyatt, who has since decided to part ways. And I'm not sure that Gilbert didn't get a little bit better. Perhaps not having the distraction at ringside helps him focus more on what's happening inside the squared circle.
A lot to be said for that. Anderson comes charging in with a big clothesline, and Gilbert in the corner. A sitting duck for that one.
Here's the wind up ball, and Anderson gets caught with a stiff forearm. Courtesy of hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. And now Gilbert down. Just caught Anderson. And a fist drop from the middle rope. Go for the cover. Hooks the leg. Gets one. Gets two. And Anderson comes out the back door.
You know, there would be a day where I might suggest that this would be an upset if Eddie Gilbert were to win the match, but I don't know that we would want to say that anymore.
No, at this point in time, Eddie Gilbert has proven himself to be a worthy adversary for anybody here in the NWA, and Arn Anderson finding out just how much of an adversary he really is. Stunner off the ropes. That hot shot normally is performed inside the ring. This time he does it from the apron, and now Anderson is out about enough.
The enforcer, Arn Anderson, unloading on hot stuff Eddie Gilbert here ringside.
Sends him into those steps, and Anderson follows it up with a flying elbow that doesn't quite make contact. And once again, Anderson using the boots here ringside, and Gilbert's been busted open. Look at the wound on the head of hot stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Anderson bouncing the head of Eddie Gilbert off the cement floor.
Well, both men have been busted open in this match. Gilbert having a hard time just getting back to his feet, though. But he beats the count back in the ring. Anderson right there waiting on him.
Well, this is officially a blood feud now. Both men busted open. Anderson with a DDT.
That's going to be all she wrote. Hooks the leg. Gets one, gets two, and Gilbert got a shoulder up somehow.
We don't see very many people kicking out of that DDT when Anderson hits him with it. Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert can add his name to the list of the few.
Drop down now by Anderson. Nicely done. Caught him. Knee to the midsection. And now attacking the knee of hot stuff Eddie Gilbert. Anderson with a spine buster. That might be it.
He could put him away right now if he wanted to, but Anderson not done with him yet.
Double A has him up in the air. Gourd Buster. That's going to be all she wrote.
I gotta believe that you may be right.
Arn Anderson with that Gourd Buster, and that got the job done. But what a fight Eddie Gilbert put up here tonight.
Indeed, tremendous battle that took place. We were fortunate to be able to watch this one.
There's the cover. Hot stuff. Eddie Gilbert getting the 1, the 2. Couldn't quite get the 3, but he came awfully close.
Well, here's one of those moments. You see the look on the face of Arn Anderson. He knew it was about to be a very close call as he got driven down with that pile driver.
And here it is, DDT. That rocked the world. I thought for sure Eddie Gilbert was done, but watch this. There's a count of 2. Referee's hands on the way down, and he manages to get a shoulder up. Here comes the spine buster, and then Anderson from there, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, when he hits with this Gourd Buster here, it really just drives everything right into the forehead of Eddie Gilbert. All that momentum, all that weight crashing straight down into the canvas, and it's lights out.
Here is your winner, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
The Enforcer victorious, ladies and gentlemen. All right, wrestling fans, joining me at this time, he is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, the United States Heavyweight Champion, and we all saw what happened at the Clash of the Champions. What in the world is going on, and where is Sting?
Well, I hate to be the one to tell you I told you so, but I told you so. Sting right now is enjoying himself in the lap of luxury right in the back of our own private suite because we're the Horsemen and that's how we roll. He's got 3 of the most beautiful women surrounding him right now. The finest champagne in all the world. And he is the World Heavyweight Champion. Did I promise you that the World Championship was going to be in our stable?
Yeah, you definitely did, but we thought you were going to be the one to try and bring it back.
And I did. How do you think Sting came to be a member of Horsemen? I made him an offer he'd be a fool to refuse. Luger, don't take it personal, big man. You were just the guy it had to be.
Yeah, what about what happened with Luger? He was supposed to be his tag team partner, and then just to walk out on him the way he did, that not even walk out on him, he sabotaged the whole match.
He did what he had to do because he is a member of the Horsemen. He proved to the world his loyalties lie with us. And he understands that if you're the world champion, you're going to have people coming from behind all the time. And you're going to need someone to watch your back. And who better than the Horsemen?
All I know is we've been trying to get Sting out here to talk about this because I still can't believe it happened.
Well, you better wrap your brain around it because it's the real deal. And as I promised you all the time, diamonds are forever, and so are the 4 Horsemen. Woo!
All right.
Welcome to the Nation Network, your home for all things pro wrestling. From classic video games to the latest releases, we dive deep into wrestling past and present. Step into the ring with Legends Mania, where dream matches come alive as legends clash with today's top stars. Join the conversation on Wrestle Chat, our podcast breaking down the biggest stories and hottest events in wrestling today.
Leave an island unto my own.
And don't miss the voice of Ultra Pro Wrestling, Vince McShannon, right here on the Nation Network. This is the place where wrestling lives, breathes, and never sleeps. Hit subscribe and let's run wild together.
All right, fans, we are back. The Assassin entering the studio this time. We heard from the Nature Boy Ric Flair regarding Sting. We have not heard from Sting.
No, and I'll tell you, we heard some things. But what I'd be interested to hear is what exactly was the offer that was made.
Well, for being honest, I mean, Flair makes a compelling argument in the simple fact that having the Horseman to watch your back is going to probably prolong your title run, but I just thought better of Sting that he would take a shortcut like that and join up with the likes of Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Tully Blanchard. I'm still stunned by that.
Well, you and the majority of our fan base as well. And over the weeks to come, hopefully we will get some clarification. I just can't believe that Sting has turned his back on everybody.
Well, not everybody. He hasn't turned his back on himself or his bank account for sure, but I have to believe he could have still reached the same goals without the assistance of the Horseman. Meantime, we go back to the ring here for what should be a really good matchup. Mike Rotunda in action, going up against the Masked Assassin. As of late, we have seen Rotunda and Barry Windham, formerly a tag team, the winners of the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament this year, had an opportunity to go after the U.S. titles against Ivan and Nikita, who we saw earlier tonight. They were not able to get the win, and since then, they seem to have been going in separate directions.
Well, sometimes a little bit of a break isn't a bad thing. It'll give both men an opportunity to enhance their individual skills, and then at such time that they come back together, they would be, I would think, a much more competitive team, a more demanding team, to say the least, and perhaps indeed championship team.
Rotunda now bringing in the Assassin the hard way over the top rope. Boy, he landed right on the small of his back, and he can clearly feel the pain from that one. Irish whip, Rotunda to the ropes, gets caught. Power slam, nicely done that time. Went for the boot, not gonna happen. Rotunda was ready for that one. And head first into the turnbuckle goes the Assassin.
The Assassin right now is going to have to rely on his wealth of experience, as he has been in that squared circle in just about every promotion throughout North America at one time or another.
He's held regional championships in many states. He has not managed to acquire gold here in the national level, however.
Still in all, a journeyman wrestler, and look at this. He removes that top turnbuckle pad and exposing the steel ring in the meantime. And now he's got Rotunda in a submission hold. Yeah, Mike Rotunda, of course. And now the referee just saw the turnbuckle pad. Look at this, right behind the back of the referee. Heck of a fight going on.
You know, for the Assassin, you're talking about an All-American in Mike Rotunda. Good luck out wrestling him.
Rotunda is by far one of the greatest wrestlers, pure wrestlers in the business today. There are very few that I could possibly imagine would stand up alongside him.
Russian leg sweep, and down he goes again. And now Rotunda goes over for the cover. Hooks the leg, it's one. Close call that time. Working the head and the neck is Rotunda. Stomping away on the back of the head. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us here on 605, earlier tonight, we saw a video of something went out in the back parking lot area. James E. Cornette was assaulted and dragged off by an unknown assailant. We don't have any update right now. I do understand that Doug Dillinger and security are reviewing video at this time. And it appears that Cornette was taken off property in a pickup truck. That's all we know. Rotunda has the Assassin up in an airplane spin. And that may be all she wrote as Rotunda goes down and he hooks the leg. Referee there for the count of one. Make it 2 and 3.
Very convincing victory for Mike Rotunda here this week. And as we mentioned earlier, when it comes to being a pure wrestler, there are few better, if any, than Mike Rotunda.
Getting the job done, no doubt about that. Against a seasoned veteran like the Masked Assassin, not an easy task to pull off, but Rotunda made it look easy.
He withstood the barrage of assault that we knew you would get from someone like the Assassin. And here's that airplane spin. He's used that with much success throughout his career.
Indeed, add the name of the Assassin to the list.
Here is your winner, Mike Rotunda.
Mike Rotunda victorious. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a guest coming up with us right now. All right, wrestling fans, welcome back. Joining me at this time is the one and only Kevin Sullivan. And Kevin, I know you wanted to come out here. You got your time. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind, Tony, is that I've got some news for you and everybody out here. I'm here to let you all know that I have recently sought counsel with the great abduction. And after long conversations through many moons and many suns, we have come to the conclusion that it is time to turn the page.
What exactly does that mean?
What that means, Mr. Schiavone, is this. As of now, officially the Dungeon of Doom is being disbanded.
Are you saying there's no more Dungeon of Doom?
What I'm saying is that I am allowing my disciples to go into this world and do what they will. I have trained them as much as I can, and they are ready now to be their own entities. Wherever they may go, they will still be representing the Dungeon of Doom. But they will do so under their own direction.
So what does that mean for Kevin Sullivan?
For too long now, I have stood in the shadows. For too long, people have thought that I was the brains behind the brawn. And while that may be true, the reality is this. I can get in that ring and I can do everything that anyone else can do and better. I can inflict the amounts of evil that no man can imagine. And if you don't believe me, why don't you ask the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes? That's right, Dusty, you know better than anybody. Or maybe you want to ask Barry Windham. Or how about Lex Luger? They all know just how dangerous Kevin Sullivan is. And soon, so will the entire NWA. World Championship Wrestling is not going to be the same now that Sullivan is going to be inside the ring more than outside the ring.
All right, fans, you heard it right here. Kevin Sullivan is about to become an in-ring competitor here in the NWA.
This is what the world has been waiting for. This is your big chance. From the Volunteer State of Tennessee, weighing in at 432 pounds, Van the Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton rocks the charge with his new hit single, Boogie Woogie Dancehall.
I'm down up the end of Rock and Roll Street. Got a rock and roll band, got the boogie woogie beat. At the boogie woogie dance hall.
And Robert and Ricky have been rocking the wrestling world. Now you can join their official fan club. As a member, you'll get a life-size poster of Ricky and Robert, 4 newsletters during the year, your official membership card, and you'll get a copy of Ricky Morton's new hit single. Send $19.95 to Rock and Roll Express Fan Club, P.O. Box 11390, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28220. Certified checks and money orders accepted only. Remember, Ricky Morton's new hit single is available only to fan club members. It's not available in stores.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Atlanta, weighing in at 200.
All right, fans, they are back and ready for more action inside the squared circle. Rocky King getting ready to go one-on-one with the man we just spoke to moments ago, Kevin Sullivan. And what do you make of what we heard from the former Taskmaster?
Well, the thought that the Dungeon of Doom no longer a unit here in the NWA has got to be somewhat appealing to almost everyone in that locker room. But then you think about the fact that what he really said is he has trained them to be their own disciples at this point in time. And now you have instead guys like Muta and Abdullah and running off on their own, doing whatever they want to do. And I'm not sure that we weren't better off having Kevin Sullivan there as the voice of reason.
Well, Sullivan was very clear about it. He says, listen, a lot of people think that I'm just the brain behind the bronze. And he is very much a capable in-ring performer, ladies and gentlemen. I know we don't see a lot of him in the ring, but he's got a very long history, as he pointed out. Names like Barry Windham, names like Dusty Rhodes, they all know just how devastating he can be. The total package, Lex Luger, of course, comes up in Florida at the start of his career and dealt with Kevin Sullivan and his army quite a bit.
But even in that, you mentioned the territories that Kevin Sullivan, particularly in the Florida state area that he ran, and he always had a lot of people surrounding him, whereas right now, apparently he's going out on his own.
Kevin Sullivan, he's maniacal in his own way. I'll tell you, the guy is very capable. However, once that bell rings, I don't care who you are, you're going to be in for a fight. And tonight, it's Rocky King's turn. There's the bell. Action underway as these two tie up. What's this? Well, fans, I just received a note here. Okay, apparently We've got a note from Doug Dillinger, head of security. They are reviewed video of what happened to James Cornette at the beginning of the show tonight. And I understand it now. They have got a license plate number on the pickup truck that Cornette was taken away in. And they are going to try and see if they cannot locate this vehicle and the whereabouts of Jim Cornette.
I mean, now this has gone from just a beatdown to an all-out kidnapping and now a manhunt.
You know, James E. Cornette has no shortage of people who don't like him, but who would go to this level, to this extent? You're talking about felony charges. Fans, we hope to have some more information before we go off the air here tonight. And, of course, we will bring it to you immediately as we just did. Meantime, Kevin Sullivan continuing the beatdown on Rocky King right now, proving that everything he said earlier on tonight, factually accurate. He can get the job done. As he snaps the neck of Rocky King coming off the ropes, and now Rocky fighting his way back into this thing. Springboards off the middle rope with a crossbody. Nicely done. Listen, I generally have a lot of problems with the things that Jim Cornette says and often does here in the NWA. That said, the thought that one of us could just be taken away in the parking lot at any point in time is a little bit unnerving.
Well, I like to think that we don't create these same scenarios that Jim Cornette does, and perhaps he would not be the target. So, of course, we don't want to presume anything at this time since we do not have any factual evidence as to the who behind the what and the where. But I've got to believe that this has to have something to do with his own personal track record in this business, which is quite lengthy, to say the least.
Cornette has definitely drawn the ire of a lot of people in this industry, and I do mean a lot of people in this industry. Rocky King comes up, and now he's getting set all around the world. There we go, and he drops the leg across the throat of Kevin Sullivan. Keep wanting to call him the Taskmaster, but technically that's not a title that really fits him anymore.
Well, the native of Boston coming out here tonight to prove that he still has that street fight in him.
One thing about professional wrestlers that I've noticed over the years is the ones that come from those tough city environments tend to be the toughest in-ring performers as well. You look at the Chicago background of guys like Lex Luger, and there he goes. He caught Sullivan, and the momentum took Rocky right over the top rope. I start to mention Luger coming out of Chicago, as well as the Road Warriors coming out of Chicago. The tough city right there. Producing three of the toughest guys in the ring that we've got today. And now from the top rope, Rocky King comes off. Flying drop kick right to the head of Kevin Sullivan. That might be all she wrote. No, Sullivan comes out the back door on a count of one.
Rocky King was stunned to see that kick out so quickly, as was I.
What just happened here? Sullivan from behind. The lights went out. Kevin Sullivan, I don't know what kind of mystical forces he's using, but he gains the advantage over Rocky King, going for the cover. And Rocky able to kick out of that one.
Well, the momentum, though, has completely shifted in this one, and you're right. The timing of the lights going out and Sullivan being put into a position of control in this matchup. A little bit alarming the way that worked out.
And now Sullivan has got Rocky King down. Sullivan off the top rope, the double stomp to the midsection. The spike, as it were, gets 2 and gets 3. Kevin Sullivan victorious in this one.
Another tremendous battle taking place here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look at the replay of the action. Rocky King being rammed into that turnbuckle pad. And we're going to see this move right here. This was nice. He sizes him up. Watch this. Caught him with a knee in the head, and the momentum took him right over the top rope.
Big suplex right there by Rocky King, and here's where Sullivan got some of his stuff going here. Bouncing the head of Rocky King off the canvas. Stomp to the back, and again the double stomps, setting Rocky King up for the spike right to the midsection, and that drove all the life right out of Rocky King.
Here is your winner, Kevin Sullivan.
Big win for Kevin Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Wow, the stinger.
Timmy, I'm from the Dream Come True Fantasy Foundation. You ready to wrestle?
You bet. Mom, Dad, it's really him. Hold on. Now I'm ready.
It looks so real.
Don't count on Sprite to do anything but quench your thirst.
Wrestling fans, make sure you join us on Saturday mornings right here for Saturday Morning Superstars of Wrestling. All of the greats from the past will be right here on Saturday mornings here on the Nation Network. Names like Rowdy Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Magnificent Morocco, and many, many more. All the action right here on the Nation Network Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What you gonna do when the legends of wrestling run wild on you? All right, fans, we are back, and it's time for the main event. Wait a minute! Rock and Roll Express wasting no time at all.
We still have no idea where James E. Cornette is, and you can see a look of concern on Stan Lane and beautiful Bobby Eaton here moments ago during the entrance.
Meantime, it's Katie bar the door. Sweet Stan Lane. Bobby Eaton got jumped by the Rock and Roll Express heading into the ring. I'm not even sure who the referee's putting the count on. Who are the legal people in the match right now?
Well, it appears we have our answer. Stan Lane and Robert Gibson. The referee is deeming that they are starting this match off. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, but there's a tag made by Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton.
Rock and Roll Express clearly looking to send a message out there right now because they've come up short against the Russians like everybody else has. But they know that in order to get another shot at Ivan and Nikita, they're going to have to get past the Midnight Express. And the Midnight Express know the exact same thing about the Rock and Roll. That's why this rivalry has been so heated for so many years between these two teams.
No exaggeration in that whatsoever. Look at Gibson coming off, and he missed the target. Stan Lane a little too fast for Robert Gibson on that one.
And the tag made. You have to wonder how much focus the Midnight Express have on this match After finding out what happened to their manager earlier tonight, Jim Cornette, if you're just joining us, was abducted in the parking lot. And we know that Doug Dillinger and security have managed to ascertain a license plate number to a white pickup truck. And that right now law enforcement are trying to locate that truck and at the same time locate James E. Cornette.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to get focused on the match, and I think the Rock and Roll Express did exactly what they should have done, all things considered. Never gave them a chance to focus. They jumped them right before the start of the match, taking a page out of the book, you might say, of the Midnight Express.
Well, the Midnight Express have been mired in controversy as of late. We saw what happened last month. The Dennis Condrey, who was Bobby Eaton's tag team partner, unceremoniously dispatched and replaced by Sweet Stan Lane. The career of Dennis Condrey ended as a result of the injury sustained at the hands of Stan Lane.
You know, at that time, Stan Lane was hiding underneath a mask, but he definitely did a number on Condrey, and to your point, ending his in-ring career to make room for him to be the new tag team partner of Bobby Eaton in the new version of the Midnight Express. And now the reversal here by Eaton, getting a couple of shots in on the head of Robert Gibson.
Into the corner. Tag is made. Stan Lane from the middle rope comes down across the arm. Big shot to the midsection. Comes up with a couple of stiff kicks. Does Robert Gibson. And takes him down with a neck breaker. Here comes Ricky Morton. Nice move. Look at Morton going around and caught him with a drop kick. Nicely done.
Very exciting maneuver right there as Ricky Morton showing his quickness and his cat-like instincts.
Of course, that's not to take anything away from Sweet Stan Lane. He is a trained fighter. He's been trained in martial arts. Of course, wrestling is something he's very natural at. And now the native of Huntsville, Alabama, Bobby Eaton with a double team. And now the Midnight Express starting to turn things around a little bit. The thought that these are two of our top teams here in the NWA, if not the world, and neither one of them has tag team gold. That is absolutely a testament to the talent level we have here in the NWA.
Indeed it is. I mean, look, the World Tag Team Champions are the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Magnum TA. And then the U.S. Tag Team Champions, whether we like it or not, are the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. But hot on everybody's heels, you've got teams like the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors. Again, there's no weak link in the chain to be found, and that's not even discussing Rick and Scott Steiner.
Ricky Morton once again going very quickly to the ropes. And Stan Lane now is in a precarious position as Ricky gets ready to fly. Morton with a drop kick off the top, and that's got to be it.
Ricky's fired up, but he allowed the tag to get made, and that may be a mistake.
Roll up on Bobby Eaton, but he manages to kick out. I'll tell you what, fans, right now, this has been one heck of a battle. Bobby Eaton's shoulders are on the canvas. Here's almost a 2 count. Getting closer every time.
Ricky Morton is in control.
Comes over, makes the tag. Here comes Robert Gibson. Flying drop kick by beautiful Bobby, right on the money is what I was trying to say.
And Gibson right back at him with that corkscrew neckbreaker on Stan Lane, and Bobby Eaton comes in and has to make the save. He must have known something because it didn't look like Stan Lane was going to be able to kick out of that one.
Indeed, that definitely did some damage. And now Sweet Stan Lane takes him down. What a move right there. The shoulders are down. There's one, there's two, and he got him. No. Robert Gibson able to kick out.
Well, let's talk about the Midnight Express and how smart that was. Not only did he go for the pin, but he had him so close to his tag team partner that even if Ricky Morton would have tried to make it across, I doubt he would have been able to get past Bobby Eaton.
In the meantime, Lane just caught Robert Gibson with a really stiff knee, and Gibson not moving very much after that one. Oh, Robert's been busted open. He's hurt. Robert Gibson, there's blood streaming down the face. And the Rock and Roll Express are going to be tested right now. Stan Lane rolls him over for a cover, and a count of one, got two. And what's Lane got in mind now? Puts him up against the ropes, and Stan Lane with that kick upside the head. Out to the floor with that flying head scissor. What a move by Stan Lane.
We were talking earlier on about how good Ricky Morton was and how cat-like quick reflexes he was showing us, but again, you want to talk about two teams evenly matched. What we just saw from Sweet Stan Lane is arguably the reason why the change was made in the Midnight Express. And now, after a series of right hands, he's opened up the head of Stan Lane.
Oh, these two teams, long history, lots of bad blood between them, and now there's bad blood spilling out of both of them. Fence press and now unloads on a series of right hands as Ricky Morton desperately tries to get the tag made. Look at the face of Stan Lane, and here comes Ricky.
He got caught coming in the ring, though, Stan Lane. There's that roundhouse kick we warned about.
And the save made by Robert Gibson. That was a close call right there. Has him up. Oh, down across the knee, gutbuster. And Ricky Morton's in trouble. Stan Lane goes to the top rope.
He wants Gibson up on his feet. I can only imagine why.
Fly cross body. Midnight Express, they weren't focused at the start of the match, but it seems like they are now. Corner to corner, post to post, off he goes and drives the head of Ricky Morton into the canvas. That might be all she wrote for the Rock and Roll Express.
Save made by Robert Gibson, and just in the nick of time, too.
And now Ricky has him up for the pile driver and drops him right in front of his tag team partner, however. Beautiful Bobby not looking to make the save. Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised myself. I would have thought he'd have tried to make the save there, especially being so close to his own corner. But again, you wonder, is his focus fully on what's happening here in the ring right now? Big drop kick by Robert Gibson sends Stan Lane all the way to the floor.
Both these teams showing why they are top contenders and why they are justified in challenging for any tag team titles anywhere in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Double team by the Midnight Express pays off, and now Bobby Eaton following up. For the Midnight Express, they have that flapjack that they're really good with. But Bobby Eaton also has a move he likes to use from the top rope, the Alabama leg jam, and if he hits that thing, it's definitely lights out.
Tag made, and here comes Sweet Stan Lane back in. Robert Gibson having trouble now getting back up. You can see the blood-soaked face of Gibson from the battle that he's been through here tonight.
Irish whip into the turnbuckle again. Robert Gibson has got to find a way to get back to Ricky Morton before this thing is all said and done. Rocket launcher from the top rope, and he caught him. Beautiful Bobby driving down across the chest of Gibson, who's now tied up in the ropes. Snapping the throat of Gibson across the bottom rope there.
Gibson now from behind. He's going to try and turn this thing around if he can. Oh, look at that. Robert Gibson got caught by Beautiful Bobby.
He was that close to making the tag to Ricky Morton, but close doesn't get it done. There's the flapjack, and that might be all she wrote.
He caught up with it, and now Ricky Morton gets caught up with Bobby Eaton, and it allows the tag and the pinfall. The Midnight Express, they might not have everything clear in their minds as to what's going on, but they got the job done here tonight when it counted.
Indeed, what a true testament it is for the Midnight Express. Despite all the controversy that we saw at the start of the night, the fact that we still don't know what has happened to James E. Cornette here this evening, they came out, they were not focused. During the match, there were moments where it looked like they weren't focused, but when it mattered the most, they got laser focused and pulled out a massive win over the Rock and Roll Express.
As we take a look back on some of the big moments of this one, truly a tremendous tag team battle, one worthy of main event status without question, and we knew it would be. You put these four men in the ring together, that's what you're gonna get.
Look at this. Deep in his own corner, there was nowhere for Gibson to go. He was fortunate to kick out of that one. I thought for sure that could have been the match. Another close call. Stan Lane driving the head of Ricky Morton into the corner. And here's the final pinfall. And we saw what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Here are your winners. Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Indeed, a big victory here on the Superstars of 605.
Legends indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God. Please. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
How does it feel, Jimmy?
Please. Oh, my God.
I said, how does it feel? Trust somebody, thought they were your partner, thought they had your back, only to turn their back on you and leave you for dead. Not so good when it's on the other foot, is it, pal?
The hell?
I was just minding my own business watching some TV, and I saw what happened to Dennis. Mystery man.
Oh, God.
Wasn't no mystery to you, was it?
Please.
Because you orchestrated the whole damn thing. He trusted you. And what did you do? How did you repay that trust?
I think you broke my damn ribs.
That's all right. See, what goes round comes around, Jimmy, and you know that, don't you? You recognize this place?
Oh, God.
I know you do.
Please.
This is where we all learned the business together. This broken down old warehouse. Well, this may be where it all began. But I want you to think of this as a full circle moment. Because this is the beginning of the end. You think you can just pop another figure in there and have it be the Midnight Express just like that?
Oh, God.
Please. You think we're just disposable pieces? That we are toys that you can just get rid of at your whim? He trusted you, you son of a bitch! Jimmy, I'm gonna trust you. Just this one time.
No, please.
I'm gonna trust you to deliver a message. You let the new Midnight Express know that I'm coming for him. And know that hell's coming with me.
No, please.
And I want you to deliver that message. Can you do that for me, Jimmy?
Yeah. I'll do anything you want.
Of course, you won't be able to deliver it until after you get out of the hospital.
No, please.